Multiple residents in a quiet neighborhood report they were awoken by an intruder in their bedroom. He didn't take anything, he didn't hurt anyone, but what he did will shock you. Did you ever feel the fear that if you left a hand or a leg hanging out from underneath your blanket, that some monster might come and take it? We were always told as children that monsters weren't real and our fears were unfounded. But what if they were wrong? Boston College straddles the line between the Boston neighborhood of Brighton and the city of Newton. Although the school has thousands of students, the problems found at many other universities simply aren't present here. The campus and surrounding streets are quiet and safe. The college is more known for its scenery, high academic standards, and ever-improving athletic program rather than the partying found at many other universities. But in 2014, a series of reported break-ins rattled the community, and as police investigated, they determined these weren't the first and might not be the last. So come with me to the Boston College campus, and I'll show you around. I'll show you where it happened, and tell you exactly what made these crimes so creepy. We'll briefly head out on Commonwealth Avenue, which cuts right through the middle of the campus and heads off to many of the off-campus housing, as well as many of the bars and nightclubs. Many students live in this neighborhood here. As you can see, it's multi-family homes, many of which are still inhabited by non-students and families. It's an interesting mix in this neighborhood to see students walking to class, along with families pushing young children to nearby parks and playgrounds. On the weekends, it's not uncommon to see some of these students stumbling home from the bars and even getting sick on the lawns of these houses. We'll cross over Foster Street here and turn onto Kirkwood Road, the site of one of the break-ins. A resident of the house at 64 Kirkwood Road called police on the morning of June 10, 2014 to report a break-in, the details of which would make some officers laugh and others terrified. The young man reported that while asleep, he felt something and woke to a masked man crouched next to his bed. When asked if anything was missing or if he was assaulted, the man said no, but he did believe that the man in his room was tickling his feet. Apparently, some of the police on scene began to laugh at this report, but one of the detectives wasn't laughing. He knew that similar incidents had been reported over the previous years. He also knew that 2 similar incidents were reported that same day. We'll turn onto Commonwealth Avenue and circle back onto Foster Street to visit these other 2 scenes. Foster Street is one of the main cut-throughs between Commonwealth Ave and Washington Street with Brighton Center. So it's not uncommon to see people walking at all hours of the night, and a man walking alone would hardly be noticed. A resident of the next scene at 249 Foster Street reported the same thing as the man on Kirkwood. He said at some time during the night, he awoke to a feeling that he thought was the cat on his foot. When he woke up, he saw a man crouched by his bed with a ski mask. And a resident at 235 Foster Street, only a few houses down, seen here, reported almost the same thing. At this house, they even woke and gave chase as the man ran out the back door and out the driveway. When the break-ins were reported on the news, they were done so almost as a joke, with the stories of the men being tickled. However, the lead detective investigating the case knew that it was no laughing matter, as this man posed a great danger to the community. Seen here, it shows how close a school and a playground are to the houses that were broken into. But this case would still have one more strange twist. Boston College and the Boston College Police released a statement saying that the story was actually an error in reporting, and that no such tickler existed. A spokesperson for the college said that it was probably just a student being quoted out of context. But the Boston police disagreed, and when asked for a comment, they said that the tickling was no myth, it is happening. So why the different stories from the two law enforcement agencies who should be investigating this crime? Who knows? Maybe the college is trying to protect its image or prevent mass hysteria. Maybe they suspect it's a student and they want to keep it quiet until that student leaves in a few years. If any of those are true, then they're putting the whole school and community at risk. Even though the police said that the tickler came in through all unlocked doors, who knows what this person, who obviously cannot control their urges, is actually capable of. To this day, the tickler has still not been caught, and there have been no more ticklings reported. But that doesn't mean they're not happening, unaware to the sleeping victim. I'm Holty, with Holty Stories. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next week. And remember to stay under the covers when you go to sleep tonight.